Good morning. I'm here to report on a couple of days of a writer's retreat that I've been on at a campground nearby my home and my reason for doing it and what it's been like. So it's Wednesday morning. It's a beautiful sunny summer day and I got here Monday afternoon. I did all my chores. I did everything that needed to be done around my house. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get out of my house, because we all know there's always something that needs to be done around the house. And I gave myself both a lot of rest and I got a lot of deep work done. So if you'd like to find out what that was like and how you might create something like that for yourself, then please stick around. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Mira, the Neurospicy Crone. And if you're visiting again, hello and welcome back. So I decided to come to a campground that was really close to my house. I live in a major metropolitan area, so I'm only about 30 minutes away from my home. So I didn't have to spend a lot of time driving. So it's not the most quiet and remote place, but it's during the week, so it's also not busy. But it turns out Tuesday morning is the day where they mow the lawn. It's a huge open grassy park-like area. And they spent about 2 hours mowing the lawn, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I just went down to the beach. I walked down to the beach and I spent time journaling one morning. I got here about 6 o'clock on Monday and I went swimming at 7 o'clock at night. So it was really nice just to play and have fun and do whatever I felt like doing. I wasn't giving myself a schedule, but I did want to get many hours of work done. So Monday, I got about 3 hours of work done in the evening, which turns out to be a nice time for me to work. So this 9 to 5 BS, we really need to learn to let go of it when we're doing our true creative work, because not everybody is productive from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. In fact, nobody is productive. There's these ads for jobs on LinkedIn where they talk about if hustle and grind and no work-life balance, and it's just, that's not how the human brain works. So they're not getting the most out of their employees. So when we're self-employed or we have some autonomy within our work, to be able to take breaks, to nap, to go swimming, to work at 10 o'clock at night, if that's when your creative energy is at its best, is really something I wanted to find out when I was on retreat, just to see, like, when do I feel like doing stuff? So the first morning, I slept till about 9:30 in the morning. That felt great. I didn't feel guilty for being in bed for 10 hours. It was what my body needed. And from that place of deep rest, I'm more well resourced. So that next day, I was able to get about 6 solid hours of creative work done, which is as much as I might get done in a week when I'm at home and I'm dealing with my schedule and I'm stopping what I'm doing for meetings, or all the housework or the pet care is calling to me. And so to remove myself from everything and just see what wants to emerge, to really be in the flow. And of course, nature is an incredible support for that. Just walking around barefoot on the dirt and on the grass and on the sand at the beach and dipping into the water and looking at the stars at night and just feeling the breeze through the trees while I'm sleeping are all incredibly nourishing for the nervous system. And there's some science out there that's shown, in case we didn't already know, that spending 3 days in nature is incredibly restorative and healing. So this is something I wanted to do intentionally, was just to get away from my chores, get away from the busyness of my routine, get away from the busy work that I do in my business that isn't the deeper creative work. So what's come out of that? Well, I was able to make huge progress on a big creative project. It's a morning ritual kit that I'm putting together that I'm super excited about, and it's different than a lot of the morning routines out there. They're like, do these things, or the big shaming of the 5 a.m. club. If you don't get up at 5 a.m., you're a loser. Well, as I just was talking about, that's not my most creative time. The 5 a.m. club goes to bed at 9 p.m. My creativity just gets rolling about 9 p.m. So it's much more adaptable and of course tailored to an older woman with a sensitive nervous system, just starting to discover like I need to craft a life that suits my unique way of being. And everyone has a unique way of being, but the dominant culture wants to put us into a structure. And that structure is like a scratchy sweater or one of those corsets that women used to wear. It's like, this is really uncomfortable. It doesn't suit me. So, what's something that you can do to give yourself a mini nature retreat? It might even be stepping outside every morning with your cup of tea and really tuning into nature. Or can you get away for a full day? I'll show you around my camper van. I have a camper van, which is a real luxury because it's like a little mini portable cabin. It's got a super comfy bed, a bathroom, a sink with running hot water. It's really convenient. But this is something that you could also do with a tent or just for a day. I've done that a lot as well, where I just pack for the day and I'll go out somewhere in nature and spend the whole day and then just go home at 10 o'clock at night if the whole overnight packing up feels like a lot to do. So taking portions of this for yourself can be beneficial as well. And then, of course, if you can, to give yourself 3 days in nature. I really have loved also being alone. So here's the city park where the people are out on their tractors. Being alone has also been very restorative for me. I love my partner. I love my friends and family. In fact, I'm just coming off several weeks of hosting family and visiting family and spending a lot of time socializing. And that's been great, but I need a break from that. I need a rest. And my people understand that I recharge in solitude, and it's nothing personal. So sometimes we have to have a heartfelt conversation with our loved ones and just say, like, being alone doesn't mean I don't want to be with you. It's just how my nervous system works, and that's okay, right? So we need to be advocating for ourselves in that way. So I'm going to clip to a video and just show you the food, how I set up my food. So I wanted to have as little chores or work as possible outside of rest and deep work. About to give my tea a second steep in the van, and then I was going to show you what I'm eating and how I'm set up for my writer's retreat for these next couple of days in a state park, actually a county campground. So I'm going to give that a few minutes to steep. And one thing I've got for my food is something simple like this. So in a jar, I put some powdered greens and some powdered fiber. And then I can just add some coconut water and shake it up. So in my fridge, I've got the coconut water is here. I've got this towel in here just to take up space. I made some kitchery that's ready to go. Got some hummus. This is a super shake that I made yesterday. I was making one for myself for the morning, so I just made a double batch, put that in a glass jar. Yay for glass jars. And have that ready to go. Here's my freezer. And that's it, super simple. Some beverages back there and some cheese and some fruit in the back corner, a little cheese spread. So super simple stuff that's largely pre-made. I'm gonna show you my cupboard now too. That's largely pre-made, so I don't have to spend my time cooking. I've got bread and tomato and some butter, so I can make a grilled cheese. That's one of my favorite things to make when I'm camping. This is my hot drinks container. And then I've got some granola that I pre-made and some yogurt, which I'm out of because I just had it for breakfast this morning. Popcorn, of course, my supplements. So the main thing I wanted to say in this video is that you get to do it differently. In fact, in order to be deeply well and well-resourced, you must do it differently. We have to unclutch from the dominant culture that in many ways is oppressive, and at least it's not super supportive. This machine, this commerce machine, isn't really intended to be deeply soothing to our nervous systems. And as we move into our third stage of life and we start to open up, we have a little more freedom, we have a lot more experience and a lot more wisdom. It's a perfect time to reconsider and reframe how we live our lives and what we're doing. So, whether you are still employed with a full time job, or you've been self employed for a while, or you're just starting to look at how you might be shifting your career and then also shifting your life. Children are moving out of the house, relationships might be changing, you might be downsizing your living arrangement, or whatever that is. These are wonderful points on the journey to reconsider, and the best place to do this reconsidering and reimagining of your life is in nature. Mama Nature is always here waiting to meet you and greet you and hold you and support you as you tap into your own truth. And that's really the biggest benefit of having taken a few days in the woods alone, is that really tapping into my own intuition, my own creativity and imagination. So what I bring forth to share with the world is from a clear, deep well. And when we're skimming along the surface, constantly changing context and being pulled in this direction and that, we don't get to draw from that deep well. So please share in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing to access that deep inner well? You're already so well resourced, but how can we in our lives give ourselves the tools and the practices, the support and the environment to access that deep inner truth that's already within you? So thank you so much for joining me at the campground this morning. And thank you for being here. Again, if this is something of interest to you, if you're looking at reframing your life as you move into the third stage of life, if you're discovering that I have a little bit of a unique nervous system, a unique way of being in the world, as we all do, then please subscribe and stick around for the next series of video. Thank you so much.